First up, on Friday evening, you got to keep an eye on this one, in my opinion. It is Virginia against Florida State. Number 8 in the AP poll, even higher in my poll. Florida State looks like one of the best teams in the nation so far this season, but don't underestimate Virginia. I am going to put Florida State on upset alert here. And that might sound crazy because it is Virginia, and they're not usually that good, but they seem to have an offense this year. They've only got one loss to a solid NC State team. Florida State should win this game, but here's where my argument is going to kick in. They play Miami next week, and that is a huge game. So the risk here is they overlook Virginia, thinking, oh, they've got this win. They've got to beat Virginia, and then you're going to focus on Miami next week, and you just slip up. It's a classic trap game. I'm not going to pick Virginia to win the game, though. I think that would be a stunning upset for sure, but I want you to at least be aware of it. Virginia could pull this upset. I am going to go with Florida State in that game, though, but again, just keep an eye on it. Maybe Virginia makes it interesting. Maybe they can pull it off because it could be a trap game for Florida State with Miami looming large next week. Moving on to the next game, though, this is also a Friday night game. Arizona against TCU. TCU ranked by the AP poll. They're at 20 for me. Arizona State still unranked for me and the AP poll. Shout out to the AP poll for that one. I'm glad they haven't ranked Arizona State yet. Although if they rank State next week, but not Mississippi State, I think that would be outrageous. Anywho, Arizona State against TCU is a huge game. We're going to see just how good TCU really is against a decent team, because I think Arizona State still is a decent team. The winner of this game could be one of the favorites in the conference after this. Texas Tech is the clear favorite right now. I don't love Iowa State, but I think that these two teams here could tell us a lot about who's going to challenge Tech. I'm going to go with Arizona State in this game. I'm not confident in this. But also I just think TCU's got to lose some games this year. And looking at their schedule, it's really hard to find losses. This is not a logical pick. It's just looking at the schedule going, TCU's going to take some losses. This looks like a game they could lose, coming off a win last week and entering the rankings. It's a good letdown spot for them. Arizona State looked a lot better against Baylor last week, and I thought Baylor is a better team than TCU. Their defense looked really good against Sawyer Robinson, so I think their defense is going to do well against TCU's quarterback, Hoover, who has been playing really well, by the way, so keep an eye on him. I'm going to take State, and I'm going to be interested to see how that goes. Next up, we're not going to talk about Georgia Tech against Wake Forest, because this might backfire, but I'm not going to hesitate to pick Georgia Tech in that one. USC against Illinois, that's what I'm interested in. I've got USC ranked, I don't have Illinois ranked. Illinois being ranked is an absolute joke right now after that loss last week. I can't pick Illinois after watching Indiana run up the score on them. 53-point win for Indiana. I'm going to take USC. Illinois' defense couldn't stop Indiana. I don't see them stopping USC's offense either. I don't see it. Could be wrong. This could be a bounce-back game for the Illini, but I'm going to go with USC. They're going to score some points, and I don't think Illinois has the offense to keep up. So give me USC pretty quickly there. Notre Dame against Arkansas is interesting to me because Notre Dame's defense weirdly has not been good this season. I don't know where that came from, but their defense has regressed a good bit. Arkansas has an electric offense. They can put up points. The problem is they don't have a defense either. So I think this has the potential to be a very fun game. And Notre Dame could be an upset alert. This is a desperate Arkansas team. They just lost 2 games, close games against Ole Miss and Memphis. And I think this is a good Arkansas team. I'm going to pick Notre Dame, though, because while they're desperate for a win, they are reeling, and they seem to have the worst luck in college football. So give me Notre Dame. Vanderbilt at Utah State, we're not going to talk much about. Utah State is a respectable team, but Vandy should have this. They look really good. Vanderbilt's going to be 5-0 after this week if they beat Utah State. How crazy is that? What reality are we living in right now, guys? Insane absurdity. Indiana taking on Iowa. Could be a game to keep an eye on. Ultimately, Iowa has a solid defense as always, and their offense is better than it normally is. They played a good game against Rutgers last week. No, that kind of flew under the radar, but they put up 34 points in a win. They also gave up 31 points, though, so not exactly the same Iowa team we're used to. I could see them pulling the upset here if they can put up enough points on Indiana and their defense keeps their offense out of the end zone enough. I'm not going to do that, though. After what we saw last week, I'm scared to pick against Indiana. They are scary, man. I'm going to go Indiana. I think if they can score on Illinois' solid defense, or seemingly solid defense, they're probably going to be able to score in Iowa. If Rutgers could hang 30 on them, Indiana's going to hang 30. And I don't see Iowa being able to keep up. So give me the Hoosiers. They're going to win. Next one, Ohio State against Washington. Preseason, this was one I kind of had circled as a potential upset. Although I thought Washington would be ranked by now, but hasn't been the case. A lot of other teams have been surprising. So I'm still going to say this has potential to be an upset. I know I have not picked any upsets yet, unless we count Arizona State over TCU, but this is a game you can circle as an upset. Washington has Demond Williams at quarterback. I believe that's his name. He has been fantastic so far. Fantastic quarterback. They've put up 59 points in their past 2 games each. It was against Washington State and someone else who isn't that good. I'm pretty sure they've put up 59 points. They put up 59 points last week at least, and it's just fantastic for them. Their offense is clicking, but can they do it against Ohio State, who has a very good defense? I think they're going to put up some points, but my biggest problem for Washington here and in their ability to pull this upset is their defense. I don't think their defense is that good. I think Ohio State's going to be able to move the ball and put up points. I think this could be a close game. I think Washington is able to pull this upset, and I think that it's going to be closer than people expect. But I'm going to take Ohio State. I think their talent is going to win out here. Ohio State's going to get a close win against Washington, and Washington, they better be gaining a lot of respect after that, because I'm ready for it. Ohio State gets the win. Big one coming up here. This one is flying under the radar a little bit because of the late slate. It's LSU taking on Mississippi. Ole Miss, they got a big win against Tulane. I don't know who is starting at quarterback in this game. It could be Austin Simmons. It could be Trinidad Chambliss. Both guys are very capable and very good players. I would start Chambliss at this point. Start him until he has a bad game, and maybe then you go to Simmons, because he is balling out right now. You got to keep playing him, in my opinion. LSU, as I previously said, they've not looked good this season. They had their best game last week against a cupcake, with respect to whoever they were playing. It's LSU's supposed to look good against them. That was the first time they looked good this season, though. Their defense looks like it's really good. I think that's going to be the main battle here. Ole Miss's offense against LSU's defense. And look, since the offseason, I've been big on Ole Miss. I predicted big things for them this year. I've got them making the playoffs. I'm going to go with Ole Miss in this game, and some people will be surprised. I've already got Mississippi ranked higher, so I mean, for me, it's just another day in college football. Ole Miss and LSU are not that far apart in talent. Ole Miss has a better resume. I'm going to go with Ole Miss in this game. Give me Mississippi against LSU. Gosh, I hope that one's right, because I've been calling it since the preseason, and I've gotten called out for it. All right, we only got a few more left. Auburn against A&M. This is going to be a fun one to me. A&M looks really good so far. They got that win against Notre Dame. Auburn looks really good so far, and I don't think there are that many teams who can beat them. Their defense looks very, very good. Their run game looks very, very good. Their problem, and I said it last week too, is I don't think they have that good of a passing attack. I said that against Oklahoma. They weren't going to pull the upset unless Jackson Arnold could suddenly find his receivers downfield. And he had a couple of plays where he did, but they were plays where he underthrew the ball. He could have easily thrown a couple of touchdowns, big passing play touchdowns, if he had thrown the ball more accurately, with more power. But he couldn't. So I don't trust the Auburn passing attack. They're going to have to be able to run the ball against A&M, and I don't know how confident I am in their ability to do that. I think they are capable, but I'm not sure, man. I believe the game is at Texas A&M. I think that's a tough environment to play in. The crowd is going to be rocking and rolling. I'm going to take the Aggies here. I'm going to do it. I think they have the better overall team. They've got the better quarterback in Marcel Reed. I'm going to take the Aggies. I'll be rooting for Auburn personally. I think that's the more fun result. But A&M should be able to get this done. And they're coming off a bye, too. So, yeah, give me the Aggies. Tennessee at Mississippi State, I already said in my rankings, although they're only one spot apart from each other, because yes, Mississippi State should be ranked with that win over Arizona State and looking good and being undefeated. I don't think Mississippi State wins this game. I think Tennessee is far better of a team than Mississippi State, and massive respect to State for what they've done this season so far. Great stuff for them, much better than anyone expected, but Tennessee should be the better team. They're definitely more talented. I don't see State's defense stopping the Tennessee offense. Tennessee's offense is so good, man. It's so good. They're going to put up points. It's going to be on Mississippi State to keep up, and they could. They're capable, but I think Tennessee's defense is going to be good enough to get crucial stops. They should be able to win and cover, I'm going to say. I'm going to say they're going to cover in this game. If it's closer than people expect, don't be surprised, but yeah, give me Tennessee in this one, hands down. Interesting one here, Iowa State taking on Arizona, who notably is undefeated. That's flying under the radar a little bit, probably because they haven't really beaten anyone that good, but still, Iowa State, they're ranked high, a little too high. They've got a win against Iowa that I value. I think that's a good win. That's the only thing I really like about them this season. They're solid. They played close with Kansas State. They played close with Arkansas State. Don't like that. Coming off a bye at least, so that's good. Arizona, they've not really played anyone. I'd say their best win is a close one against Kansas State. Both of these teams played close with Kansas State. They got one common opponent. Honestly, though, Arizona looked better against Kansas State than Iowa State did. That's my opinion. You can disagree if you want. I think this game has high upset potential. It's flying under the radar. Not too many people are going to have their eyes on it. Not many people are talking about Arizona, but Noah Fafita at quarterback is really good. I liked him since his freshman season. Disappointed they had a down year last season. I'm going to go with Arizona to pull this upset. It might be a little bold. It's a little out there. And I might be way off on this, but I'm going to take Arizona to pull this upset against Iowa State. I don't think Iowa State is that good. I think that they keep winning close games, and they're a solid team, but they're going to lose to someone at some point who they shouldn't lose to, and Arizona fits that. I'm going to take the Wildcats, just a random upset. So there we go. Missouri at Massachusetts, we're not going to hesitate. Mizzou is going to hang 60 on him. Skip over down here to BYU at Colorado. I am taking BYU in that game. They should just be the better team. I don't have any deep thoughts on that one. And I'm skipping over that because we got the big ones here. We got two huge games. Oh, man. Penn State taking on Oregon. Number 3 and number 6, respectively, in the AP poll. I got Oregon at 8 in my rankings and Penn State at 15. Whoever wins this game is going to get that quality win they've been missing all season so far. The loser of this game, their resume is going to be a lot more thin. You need to look good in this game for both of these teams. Both of these teams need to look good at least. Man, I'm excited for this one. Penn State gets a chance to correct the narrative. James Franklin being unable to win big games, this could be his chance to fix that. Oregon, though, as I said, they look so good this season. They look elite. They haven't really played anyone, though. We're going to learn a lot about both of these teams. There's not much we can really say or guess so far because we don't know much. All we know is they look dominant against bad teams. So you just kind of have to take a guess here. And my guess, this might sound crazy, but my guess is Penn State gets the job done. I don't have any reason for it. I've just had this weird feeling since the offseason that Penn State is going to beat Oregon and, then choke later in the year. But for now, things are going to be looking good. Just a weird feeling. I'm going to take Penn State. They seem to have a really good defense. They have an experienced quarterback, although I don't love Drew Aller. He's a very experienced, and they played Oregon close last year. They can do it. We know they're capable of it based on how well they've played against these teams. They just haven't gotten over the hump. I think this is it. You only have that problem until you get over it. I think this is where James Franklin gets over it. Sure, I still think he's going to lose in the playoffs, but I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to say Penn State finds a way and they beat Oregon. It's going to be a great game. Looking forward to it, although my eyes personally won't be on it. I'm going to be a little bit too busy with the game of the week, in my opinion. It's Alabama going to Athens, taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. I am a diehard Georgia fan, have been for a while, and I'll go ahead and say it. I'm taking Georgia. I'm not picking against my dogs. I know the narratives. Kirby Smart and the Dogs always losing to Bama, except for that one time in the national championship game. That was the best time for us to win, of course, for sure. But it is true. We struggle against Alabama. I don't know why. It's just a thing that keeps happening. But this time we play at home. We haven't beaten them at home in a long, long time. It's been so long. But normally these are neutral site games or they're played in Tuscaloosa. I'm really excited to get a chance to play them in Athens. And we may or may not have a blackout for Georgia. We might be playing in black. I think that'd be awesome. The environment at our stadium at night, primetime game basically, most eyes on it. It's going to be electric. It's going to be an amazing atmosphere. We are going to be ready for that game. We are going to show up. The fan base is going to be rocking and rolling. I'm looking forward to seeing that crowd. Alabama, obviously, it's Alabama. They're not Saban's Alabama, but they're still a very talented team. Top 5 roster. They've been rolling since the opening season loss to Florida State. They've been rolling against lower level competition. Georgia, they played Tennessee, and they beat Tennessee. My hesitation here as an objective viewer of this game is Georgia's secondary has some young guys who struggled against Tennessee. And that is concerning for sure. If Ty Simpson can find Ryan Williams just in the passing attack, and they can exploit our young secondary, yeah, this is going to be a very close game, and we might lose. I acknowledge that. I have to acknowledge that. I'm trying to be objective to some degree, at least. It is very possible Alabama comes to Athens and wins this game if Ty Simpson has a big day against our secondary, and it's very possible, just judging what we saw against Tennessee. But we got a head coach named Kirby Smart. He, I guarantee you, for the past 2 weeks has been coaching up our defense, working real hard on them, making sure they learn from those mistakes against Tennessee. I think our secondary, our young secondary, is going to learn from that game. They're going to come out improved. They are going to do their best against Alabama's receivers. Yes, Alabama's still going to make plays because their receiver core is nasty. Absolutely nasty. They're going to make plays. But it's not going to be like the Tennessee game. Alabama might crack 30 points. We'll see. I don't think their run game's going to do anything against us, but their pass attack will do enough. They maybe crack 30 points, but in that Bama defense, the way Gunnar Stockton and our receiver room is playing, our guys are going to get open too. Gunnar Stockton playing amazing, is flying under the radar. He's having a very good season. That game against Tennessee was fantastic. He should be in the Heisman discussion, especially if we beat Bama. Give me the dogs in a close game. It's another classic Georgia versus Bama game. I'm looking forward to it. I've got Saturday plans. I'm making sure to cut short just to be home in time to watch this game. Give me the dogs. I'm not picking against my team here. As scared as I am because of the narrative, give me Georgia.